Welcome to the Gameroom. It is me, of course, the crowd favorite, Dwight, and Michael McLeod, as usual.
Oh, the regent, Michael McLeod, here as always. Yeah, it's me and that guy.
I gotta give the fans what they want.
Yeah,
doing pretty good.
We're gonna give you what you paid for. Or, what is the yeah, give you what you came here for. That's right. I think that's in a Jet Grain Radio song.
I used to play the mess out of that. But yeah,
me too.
See, there wasn't a whole lot going on for the last 2 weeks. Well, I mean, there was actually. There was a good amount. But,
not with video games.
Yeah.
not so much. I played like a lot of games this week. I will say it because Judgment came out today, Nier came out today. I think Pokemon's next week. There's a lot of stuff coming out soon.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get tied down to any one thing, even though I have games to finish. It's just like I swear I started 50 games this week. Maybe not 50. That's an exaggeration. I started a lot of stuff, and I just couldn't land on anything. My games play. I don't know if you looked at it.
I did look through them. Yeah, it's a lot there. I actually didn't play through a whole lot. I kind of dabbled in a lot of stuff, but we'll just go. Let's go ahead and get into that.
Let's go.
I'll go ahead and start that off just because I don't really have a whole lot. The only thing that I really got into was probably Spider-Man Remastered on PS5.
Spider-Man.
So I did play the shit out of that.
It's been a Marvel sort of week.
Yeah.
Looking at your list and looking at mine.
Good.
So
was it? I got through. I'm actually very close to the end. I feel like I'm probably one fight away from like the last boss.
Where are you? And I'll give you a ballpark. I'm not going to ruin it, but I'll give you a ballpark.
So the cutscene where Miles got bit by the spider happened.
Oh.
And
yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're going to be done tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. Which.
Well, maybe not tomorrow, but within days you'll be done.
I was figuring. And I mean, normally, just like when I was telling you about this before, normally I don't put all that into like an open world game. This is the kind of open world game I can get behind though, because it's really focused. There's not a whole lot of random other, shit that's in the way really. You don't have to do the side stuff if you don't want. Normally, if there's, if I'm swinging through and some side shit comes up and it's right there, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. I did go out of my way to do all the side missions because there's not a whole lot of them. So
I'm really surprised you did that because I know how averse you are to that.
I like these.
I didn't do that.
I like these as opposed to like other games where the side stuff is just like really, it's just like extra filler stuff. But these side missions are actually done pretty well.
I felt like this was a little bit. Some of them.
Yeah.
Like the what is the military police called in this?
Sable.
Them.
Yes.
Like when you have to take over their bases, I'm just like, this feels.
Oh
bad.
no, that I
or the
didn't
Kingpins, the Kingpins construction site things, or like the bases where all the
right.
I don't even remember. See
all those little like arenas.
I don't feel like those.
So they had arenas for Fisk's henchmen, Kingpin's henchmen. They had arenas for the demons. Yeah. They had arenas for
demons. That's what they
escape prisoners. Spoiler warning.
Yes.
They had arenas for Sable
Shockers.
It was. So I definitely get those. That's more just like padding. But I'm talking about like the little side missions where. Like the one where you had to, it was Hammerhead. No, not Hammerhead.
Hammerhead's in it. He's in it.
He's in there, but
Tombstone.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
The Tombstone missions. There's
How do you feel about the sneaking missions? Are those annoying?
And you know, I read a lot of people say that they were terrible. I didn't think they were that terrible, and I actually thought they were pretty cool.
They're okay.
Yeah.
They're fine. They're not broken and they're not difficult.
And they're pretty short.
But they are a pace breaker a little bit.
But they're pretty short, so they don't like overstay their welcome. The ones that I especially liked was the one where you played as, spoiler warning again, but I mean, I'm sure y'all played this by now. When you're in the train station and you're playing as Mary Jane or whatever, and you're kind of like spotting enemies for Spider-Man to swoop down and get him or whatever.
Yes,
I thought it was cool because it's like you get to play.
That one's actually pretty good.
You know, you're playing when you're playing a game and you get to play outside of the main character. It really enhances why that character is so cool. And a lot, games have used that to good effect before, like Metal Gear Solid 2, even though a lot of people didn't like that. They always feel like, oh, we have to play this guy all the time. It's like, well, I mean, sometimes if you take a little break and you get to see that person being awesome in comparison to who you're playing as, it kind of like makes them more amazing or whatever. So
I guess let me ask you then, because you got this with you got a collection with your PS5 that came with Miles Morales that came with this, right? Are you just going to jump into Miles Morales immediately, or are you going to?
I'm going to give it a little bit of break and then get into that. And then I'm glad that it's short because this game is not super long.
Miles is this one's not super long. Miles is way shorter.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
If it's like Red Dead Redemption long, I would just like leave it alone.
No, it's not anywhere close. It's honestly, I played a Spider-Man game this week, and it's about the same length as that.
Right. And we'll get to that because I've played that game before too. But
I played it twice to completion this week. That's how damn short this game is.
I actually miss like some of the old school Spider-Man game controls and stuff where you can get like web hands and stuff like that, and you can't do that in here, which is
that's part of this. Yeah,
they all had the same controls up until Spider-Man 1 and 2 on PlayStation, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 the movie on Xbox stuff. They all had the same controls. It's like Y for web attacks or something like that, and X and
they were all very, very similar.
It wasn't until like later on, I don't remember if it was Shattered Dimensions or something like that, before they actually like changed the controls.
Well, Shattered Dimensions is when Shattered Dimensions and Edge of Reality. I'm making up stuff. That's a development company, isn't it? Yeah,
but I know what you mean.
Edge of Tomorrow. It's a movie. It's
Time
Edge
of something.
Edge of Time sounds right.
It sounds like let's see.
All right.
On-air connections.
Google searching.
On-air corrections here.
Exactly. Those two aren't open world, and then I can't remember if this was before or after, but Web of Shadows came out.
Web of Shadows.
It
is Edge of Time, by the way.
Good job. Is completely underrated. Web of Shadows. I love it.
I like those games. A lot of people don't
has
like
the
them,
same plot as Prototype. Exact same plot, except they just call them symbiotes, and you're Spider-Man. But other than that, it's the same plot.
So yeah, these are pretty good games. The only Spider-Man game I never touched was Spider-Man Friend or Foe. I didn't touch that one.
I finished that one. It's not that
and
good.
And the Amazing Spider-Man games. Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. I never touched those.
Amazing Spider-Man 1 is actually pretty good. 2 it's not as good, but it's not bad.
Okay. I'll probably get to them at some point.
They do this thing where Amazing Spider-Man 1, they do this thing where they zoom, like you're zoomed in on Spider-Man.
I saw that.
And it's more like dramatic looking, but you don't have and this is something they kind of reversed on. You don't have to stick to a building. You just swing wherever. Kind of like it was.
It's like Spider-Man 1. Spider-Man the movie 1.
The movie 1. Yes. Yeah.
I remember that.
And Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2, you had left and right triggers, and it was actually like more, you had to stick to a building, but it was like very picky about it almost to a degree.
It's interesting.
It's like they went the complete opposite direction. It was just like, what? Okay.
In this game, it's kind of like a halfway point. You don't have as much control as some of the other ones. Like in Spider-Man 2, you could slingshot and you could attach the two buildings at the same time.
Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 2, you had a lot of control, but it took a lot of work to get there.
Yeah.
This one, you can look cool and not put in that
exactly.
Much
it's really simple. So I mean, I appreciate that. It would be cool if you could do the Spider-Man, the animated cartoon, animation where you're just like constantly swinging, but yeah, you can't really do that.
Amazing Spider-Man does have this thing. I don't know we're getting on the Spider-Man topic. Whatever, man. Where you can go into first-person mode, aim it where you want to go, let the button go, and he just goes there. Like, he just, however way to get there.
It's like an auto pathing type thing?
He auto does it, pretty much, yeah.
Interesting.
Mind you, you can't go that far out, but if you need to, like, make a quick turn, you could slow down time, turn, say, hey, I want to get on those. It's actually a pretty good mechanic, but I digress. Continue on, good sir. We'll get back around to Spider-Man as I touched on him quite a bit this week myself, so.
Let's see. Both of those were for the Xbox One and PS4, correct?
Which one?
Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2? I have them for the Wii U, but yes.
Gotcha.
Because of course I do.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, the other games that I played, let's see, Monster Hunter Rise. I got to Hunter Rank 7. I got carried there by a group that I'm playing with. Which,
good job.
Boyd is one of them, and he was on here a couple of weeks ago.
He was on the infamous broken
episode. So, I mean, it's great. I think a lot of people have been saying, especially longtime players, that it's really too easy. It honestly is. It is a little too easy, but we've hit on that already, so I'm not gonna beat that.
Doesn't mean it can't be enjoyable.
Yeah. I mean, I still like it. I really wish that it was at like 60, but I mean, it looks great. It plays well.
Hey man, you got that PC version coming. Yeah. You just do that. I mean, I'm thinking about it. Honestly, I haven't picked it up. I know it's weird, but it's just like I haven't got back to it, so
yeah.
I just haven't yet.
But yeah, if you ever need somebody to carry you through, definitely able to do that.
I probably will, because like I say, I have not moved since. I think I did maybe one hunt since we talked last.
But yeah, all right. So the other ones I got, let's see, Inertial Drift. So this was a game that I saw some time ago, and I thought the premise was pretty nice because I used to love games like Burnout and those kind of really arcadey racing games. So I got, before Inertial Drift, actually, I got the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit remake.
Yeah, I have that.
So I didn't put it on this list because I got it off of recommendations because I heard it was really great, and I saw that it was made by the same teams who made the Burnout games, and it's really similar.
Criterion.
Right, Criterion. Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's great. I love Criterion.
I actually have that game on Switch and Xbox. Yeah. I actually really enjoy that game.
So then, got it, popped it in, started playing it, and I was just like, this does not feel like Burnout. It feels a lot more like...
No, it doesn't. It does
yeah,
not.
And I kept seeing people saying that, this is, feels the most like Burnout out of all the Need for Speed games. And I'm just like, no, it doesn't. It's just like, it's not...
I guess. I don't know. I guess out of all the Need... Why don't you just play Burnout if you don't play Burnout?
I was looking for another game that was similar to Burnout because I played the shit out of all the Burnouts.
There is a game like that. Is it the one I'm thinking of? Is it the one you played? There is a game like Burnout.
I'll have to check that out. But yeah, I'll
look it up.
I was disappointed. It's not a bad game, but it just wasn't the feel I was looking for. The cars just felt really heavy, and you can't really drift super easy, and it's like, so I wasn't really feeling it. I'm looking for like that Burnout, Ridge Racer kind of feel.
Ridge Racer,
which Inertial Drift has that. Inertial Drift, if you've never heard anything about it,
Dangerous Driving is what I was thinking of. But
Dangerous Driving, okay. But yeah, Inertial Drift has this it has like a twin stick controls for you to be able to drive. So the left stick controls how you steer, obviously. The right stick is for drifting. And of course, depending on whether you're, accelerating at the time, you let go of the accelerator, or if you're braking, controls how hard you can drift. And there's a lot of like minute controls and weight shifting and everything that you have to do, but it's really easy to drift. You just like move the right stick and then you start going into a drift. So it's really nice. It's
yeah, I've never even heard of this until you just mentioned it.
Yeah, so. Yeah. And it didn't come out that long ago. It came out in September, actually, last year.
Okay.
So it's pretty new. Decent. It's on Switch, it's on Xbox, on PS4. It's definitely worth a try. the game, there is a story mode, which I played through. Story mode is pretty short, which is fine. But it's one of those arcade-style games where you're playing through over and over to get better at it, as opposed to playing through, like, a huge slog of stuff, of content. I always hate that because it just makes it seem like we're just, gathering up all this stuff for you to go through just to pad out how long the game is or whatever. So that game's not like that. So pretty interesting.
I might have to look into that. I may have to look into this dangerous driving too. I've been looking at it on YouTube as you've been talking. I'm like, damn, this looks pretty good.
I heard something about that. I thought that was.
I heard about it initially
just
from.
Crash mode, I guess it's the actual.
I don't know actually.
I guess it's the actual.
Kind of hard to tell on here then.
I think I'm thinking of a different game. Yeah, I'll definitely have to try this out. There's another.
I heard about it from Metal Jesus Rocks. If you ever watch him, which. Say what you will about him, he's a bit odd, but he has been the reason I tried a lot of things.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Hey,
and he has a lot of people on his channel too, so I watch him.
And he does this a lot. He does the
10 hands,
the touchy fingers.
10 hands, yeah.
Is that what it's called?
10 fingers or whichever. So yeah. Also, I mean, not a whole lot, but I did get on and I tested out a stream. For Warzone a couple days ago, just with some friends of mine, and
Call of Duty Warzone.
Yeah, Call of Duty Warzone.
Is that what the kids are calling it now? Or did they just call it?
It's
Warzone?
really it's so removed from Call of Duty now that it really you get Call of Duty Modern Warfare just to play Warzone. It's nobody really plays the multiplayer anymore, which. I don't really like that. I actually prefer the gunfight mode, which is the 2-on-2 mode.
My friend Kia says he likes that better too.
I prefer that.
He's like, I hate that everyone's
but
on Warzone.
Nobody plays it. All they play is Warzone. So, I mean, if you know anybody who plays Call of Duty, they're playing Warzone. They're not playing Call of Duty. So, whatever. But anyways, yeah, test out the stream. Twitch has a lot of restrictions on streaming. It's really weird.
Now, are you doing this natively through your console?
Yes.
Okay. So you don't have like a Elgato.
No. I don't have a capture card or anything like that. Which I mean, I wouldn't do that unless I was really serious about streaming.
I considered doing it for us, but I don't know if I could commit.
Yeah. So I would say we should test it out a couple times first, just through the native apps, and then if we really want to get into that,
yeah.
I would say it is a lot easier to do that on PS5 than Xbox.
I think also a lot of games that have spoiler warnings, they will literally like stop cutscenes and such, right?
I mean, if you're streaming single player games, but yeah,
okay. Which I mean, I
right.
would. I'm not playing.
You wouldn't have to worry about that.
I don't know. I thought maybe once we got going, maybe like, hey, every other Friday night from 6:30 to 8:30, I'll be playing blankety blank game.
Right.
Something like that.
Not a bad idea.
Well, we can do something like that. I don't know.
And you can
maybe some like long form RPGs that we just. I was like, when the hell am I going to get around to this? And just play it 2 hours, and then eventually, it'll get done.
Yeah, so. And you can also have your own personal account, and then have a stream, like have it linked to, like have streams linked to that, so you can use your personal account, but then you're streaming for like a third party account. I'll have to explain some more about that.
We're streaming for. Yeah. I get you.
I saw those options. So I thought that was pretty good. So one thing that I guess to remember really quick for anybody who has never really tried to go on Twitch before, on PS5 it's native. It's a part of like the UI. Really, you just hit the broadcast button and it's there. For Xbox, you have to download the app. You download the app and you switch between them.
You have to do that on a lot of stuff, yeah.
So so you had to. It's not built in anymore because of course Mixer's not in there anymore. So there's no built-in streaming. You have to get that Twitch app. There's a lot of options you can actually do from the console. You have to go to the website and not the phone app, because the phone app doesn't have those options either. You have to go to the actual website to like set these options. Like by default, it will not save your gameplay. Like if you do a broadcast, it doesn't archive your broadcast unless you tell it to, which is weird. But it also will.
I mean, I guess I just don't want it filling up. I mean, I know it's in limited space, but you don't.
And even if you do set that up, it keeps it for 14 days unless you pay for it and premium or whatever. Which I'm not going to do that. I'm just testing it out. But like
Maybe if we get serious.
So it will add people in your party to the stream, to the audio of the stream. And of course they have to opt in. So when you're in the party, there's an option that'll pop up that say, hey, do you want to opt in or not? So you can opt out if you want, which, I mean, to me, you might as well opt in. I don't know, that kind of defeats the purpose. But you cannot record game audio. What I mean by that is game chat audio. So if you're in a party within the game and it's not like a console UI party, then that doesn't get added. Because, of course, on Call of Duty, you can crossplay.
Yeah, no, I can get why.
Yeah, it makes sense why, but it's kind of because you can have it set up so that only people in your party and you're not talking with randos. Because we play in a party, we never play with randos. So I have people on PlayStation that can't join in, even if we switch from party chat to game chat or whatever. They're not going to show up on there. It's only the party chat that will. Which, I mean, if you have an actual capture card, that's not an issue. But just wanted to point that out. It is kind of annoying.
That's very weird.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's...
I mean, I get it, but it's
yeah, it is. It is weird.
Sounds like a headache.
It really is. But, yeah, that was pretty much all I had. Well, I did want to mention I bought It Takes Two. And I also bought the Ring Fit Adventures. That came in today, so have not tried it yet.
Okay.
So those two will be on the next episode after this, 2 weeks from now. So look out for that.
Look forward to that. I'm curious to see your Ring Fit. Ring Fit works. It works most of the time. Right. There are a couple of times where I've had it where it just did not register what I was doing, and that's what turned me off. I mean, mind you, it's meant to exercise you, but like, if you're trying to do something and you're like busting your ass to do it, and they're like, no, I'm like, I'm fucking doing it. like register it. Like, I'm tired. I can't just keep doing this over and over.
I'm dying over here.
Exactly. I'm on the ground, like hyperventilating. Like,
it's like, nah, you gotta try harder.
Keep doing this. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so what you have? You had some Spider-Man.
We didn't get that, so I promised more Marvel shenanigans. So again, I popped in so many things this week. It's not like what's on this list is what I put the most time into. Maybe outside of actually, I should have put Root Film on there. Root Film. I did play about 5-6 hours.
Root Film.
It's a visual novel. Have you ever heard of Root Letter?
Yes, I actually have Root Letter.
Okay, so Root Film is a you play as a detective. Well, actually, he's not a detective. He's a director. And
is this related, or is this just like just?
It's related, but not really related.
Gotcha.
No.
Okay.
It's its own thing. But you're tasked with making this TV show that was canceled, and it plays out in chapters, and like there's usually like some sort of it's a Detective Conan episode, like pretty much every chapter practically. You have to talk to people and figure out what happened. It's almost like a Phoenix Wright sort of situation. Like, I'm cool with it. It's nice and chill. I sit there and play it. I can sit there and read it pretty much. I mean, it's 90% reading.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just looked it up.
I'm down with it, though. Like, I mean, yeah. It's on Switch and PS4. I got it on PS4 through GameFly. I liked it enough to where I just put keep. I was like, damn, okay, I'm in. I'm in enough. I will finish it.
I have Root Letter. I have Root Letter.
I've never finished it.
I never even started it.
I didn't play much, so don't worry about that.
I'll get around at some point.
But yeah, like I said, I popped everything. Batman Brave and the Bold. I had the Wii. Treasure Planet on PS2. Just because I was like, oh, this is a Jack and Daxter clone. Is that what I'm interested in playing? I could not land really on what I wanted to play. Because of recent Marvel doings, I've been like in a Marvel mood. Referring to Falcon and Winter Soldier, which that new episode was great.
Yeah, I just finished seeing it.
I really enjoyed it. A lot of people are giving it kind of meh reviews. They said it felt rushed. what happened is exactly what I thought was going to happen. No
Right.
spoilers. I liked
Yeah.
it. I thought it was good.
I mean, I was looking for. I mean,
badass.
I guess people who weren't aware of who U.S. Agent was were kind of just like, "What? What's going to happen?" And I'm like, as soon as I saw him,
Dude, I knew exactly what
as
was
soon
going
as
to
I saw
happen.
him step out at the end of the first episode, I was like, "Yes, U.S. Agent! Oh, I want to see this." But
Yeah.
I think I said that to somebody, and
I
they
love
didn't know what I was talking about.
I love Buddy's design.
Yeah,
I like how they did sort of comic-y, sort of like took some it's too early. I'm not going to spoil anything. So it's good stuff
right,
though.
right.
But because of that, I was in a Spider-Man mood, and I have Spider-Man on the original. I say the original. It's not really the original. The original 3D game, the one that's narrated by Stan Lee, that's on PlayStation 1, N64, and Dreamcast.
Right.
I have it for Dreamcast and N64. I've beaten it on PlayStation. I used to have it on PlayStation. That game has gotten expensive.
Really, that's kind of
Like,
interesting.
really expensive. Like $100+.
What? That game is like everybody had that game. that's kinda
Well,
weird.
on Dreamcast and N64.
Okay.
PS1's not as bad.
Yeah, PS1 is the version that I played.
Yeah, exactly. On one of my traveling trips though, I picked it up on both of those. I couldn't decide what I wanted because I did get a Retro Fighters controller for the N64, so I kind of wanted to play that version. But I knew the Dreamcast version looked so much better,
Yeah.
and it does. The Dreamcast version looks so much better. For one, Spider-Man actually has webbing on his costume. He's not just a red and blue.
Yeah, with the
So-
mittens or whatever.
Yeah. He still has the mittens.
I think they have
Geometry's
like
still the same.
the geometry is the same, but it has lines.
Yeah, but he has drawings of
He
fingers.
has lines for his finger. Is that based off of the N64 version or the PlayStation version? Because they do look a little different.
They all look the same to me, or at least these two, because I actually played through both. I played through the Dreamcast one first, because I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do the Dreamcast. I haven't played a Dreamcast game in a while. So I'm going to play the Dreamcast one, and I sit there, and then I was like, oh, fuck, this game's over.
Yeah,
how
pretty short.
insanely short that game is.
Yeah.
It's like 2.5 hours long. It is so short.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I still want to play through the N64. So I just popped it right in and kept going. I didn't do it back to back, but I played through both versions. They are insanely similar. There's a little bit different control wise on the N64. They make you use the C buttons to attack, and that's very odd to me. So
I mean, I guess you kind of
I'm a
have
fan
to
of that.
since
You kind of have to, but like A or B, one of them isn't used for anything. Like A is jump and like B is nothing, I think, or it's nothing important. I was like, why couldn't B be attack? So you know, it's very weird. But I did play through both of those, and I can't say I'd recommend them nowadays. They're very
I played the
Dated.
mess out of those. I played the first and the second one, Inter Electro, on PlayStation.
yes.
I don't think
I initially played them on PlayStation.
They never released that on Dreamcast, did they? The second one.
They did not. It was just the first one that was on Dreamcast and
It's kind
N64.
of sad.
The N64 one has a red cartridge. That was
Yeah.
my main thing. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, that looks badass.
I remember that. And
But yeah, I don't know. Even though it's not very interesting, not deep, I like the Stanley narration. I like the little references. Captain America's in it. Punisher's in it. Daredevil's
it was
in it.
very, very comic booky compared to a lot of the later ones.
And this is pre MCU.
yeah,
So
it was really nice. I mean that.
it
Yeah.
it hits you right in the like, man, this is I'm however old I was, 12
Right.
years old or 13, 14, whatever. I'm that age again, and it was good times. I actually really enjoyed my time with it. So being still in the Marvel mood, I'm just like, I want to play Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That's what I'm going to do. And I actually did start every Marvel Ultimate Alliance game.
Wow.
So I started 1. I was like, I played 1 too many times. I started 2 on the Xbox One, because I have the Xbox One and PS4 version. They're delisted.
Yeah, I
now.
have those too. Yep.
And I was just like, I played this still plenty of times. Started 3. I was like, 3 is just not the same. 3's fine.
I never got 3. I
It's-
want to get it, but it's too expensive.
3 does not feel the same. It does not feel the same. It's not a bad game, but it does not feel like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And to a degree, Part 2 doesn't feel like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. The ideal way, really, or the ideal sort of trilogy is X-Men Legends 1 and 2, and then Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That's kind of like the trifecta of like the isometric Marvel superhero.
Right. Yeah.
But I was like, oh yeah, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 on the Wii and PS2 are completely different.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
They have the same story, like base story, and you have the general same sort of settings, but like you may not have the same objectives. I know you have different heroes. There's some heroes that are exclusive to the Wii version and PS2 version. Like Blade is in there for one
the
reason.
definitive edition.
Several other.
All right.
Yeah. I started playing it, and I'm like, oh my god, it feels like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1. It does not feel like 2. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm in. I was super into it. I played it a good bit. I stopped because I got past the first thing, and they were still giving me bullshit motion control tutorials.
Oh, so you have to...
And when they got to the part... they were getting a little obnoxious, but I'm like, whatever. I played Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 on the Wii. It was fine. There was annoying things in there, but it was fine. The fusion powers were really stupid. You had to, like, shake the nunchuck and, like, point at the character you wanted to do on the screen and, like, do a motion to get them to do it. I'm like, okay, that's really obnoxious. To move the camera is what killed it for me, though. You have to hold down the one button and tilt the nunchuck around to move the camera.
No.
At that point, I said, you know what? No.
God.
So what I did immediately, because I was enjoying the feel of it. It did feel like Ultimate Alliance 1. I immediately went to eBay and I bought a PS2 copy. Which has not come in yet, but I'm actually looking forward to a lot. I'm actually really, really looking forward to playing through that on PS2. Because I love Ultimate Alliance 1. As one of my favorite games, probably of all time. It's in top 20. I've beaten it so many times.
Yeah, I've played that a lot. The first X-Men Legends and Ultimate Alliance 1 I played the most. X-Men Legends 2 I played, but I never beat it. And then Ultimate Alliance 2.
X-Men Legends 2 has a problem with everything is gray. Everything's gray and brown. There's no color in that damn game. Ultimate Alliance 1 is best played on regular Xbox or Wii, in my opinion. The next gen versions are fine, but that was like
shiny.
I think
oh my god,
so fucking shiny, and I'm just like, why? I know they're just trying to show off what it can do, but lastly, things of note, I guess. I mean, I played a lot, like a fucking lot, but Planet Robobot I played, but I did buy. I did buy a Super Analog NT because I wanted one so much when they first came out. And I could not swallow what they cost. They're not that expensive, mind you, but they're not cheap.
Yeah, not at all.
And I was just like, I can't do it. And then by the time I decided, hey, I have enough money, I kind of want one now, they were insanely expensive on eBay. And then they're like, hey, we're going to have some tomorrow. I follow Analog on Twitter, and I'm like, so I just did it. I was like, whatever, man. I want one of these. And it is nice. It's insanely nice. Just being able to pop in a cartridge and it comes out super nice. But on a Super Analog NT, Super Terrakin Director's Cut is on there, built into the software.
Very nice.
Which I played through the first 3 levels. And there was no passcode system or save system, so I'm probably going to have to replay those levels.
Oh, well, yeah, it doesn't have like a save states or anything like that. Gotcha.
Nope. I really liked it, though. It's if you're not familiar, which I'm sure you are, but listeners, if you're not familiar, I don't really know what the plot is exactly, but I mean, it's a running gun shooter. You get power-ups that do different things. The only thing I don't like about it versus something like a Contra is you can't aim diagonally, which is kind of obnoxious. But you get over it pretty quick. It's a lot of fun. That's the best I can say about it. I mean, if you're into that sort of game, you're going to love this. I don't know of a way to play it outside of emulation or on a Super Analog NT, so I guess that's your option.
I thought they were doing...
They probably will put it out eventually somewhere, like on the Switch or somewhere you can buy it. Oh, I also played Scott Pilgrim. That came in through limited run this week. Oh. That's good.
Yeah, there is a Super Turrican like remake or re-release or something that's coming out.
It might be that one. Because there's actually 2 versions. There's Super Turrican, and then there's Super Turrican Director's Cut. I think the Turrican is the one that actually came out. And then the director's cut's like the version that has all the extra little bells and whistles. Because I remember that cart was supposed to be like a 6 meg cart, and they had to cut it to like a 4 meg cart for some reason.
Oh, I looked it up while we're talking. It's a Turkin anthology. I remember seeing this, and I couldn't remember when it was supposed to be coming out. So yeah, Turkin anthology is in development at Factor 5. This came out, or they first released information about it August 27th last year, 2020. I remember.
Okay, so it'll probably be out this year
at
sometime,
some point. Oh, this looks good.
I mean, the game is completely done. I mean, it's very enjoyable. They even give you in the little analog box. They send you a you have to fold it yourself, but it's like a Super Nintendo style box for Super Turrican.
Yeah, that's like 5 games cool in there. That's very nice. Yeah, I definitely want to try that out.
But yeah, I played Power Rangers on there. Like, I played some Dragon Quest 3. I played some Goof Troops. I mean, yeah, that's what you get a new toy. You pop everything in there. So I was literally just popping in SNES games left and right. I don't really have. I'm not like a huge Super Nintendo collector, but I have the good stuff, most of it anyway.
I actually don't have any of mine.
Turtles in Time.
I've been wanting to get the Mega SG for the longest time, and I don't have my Sega Genesis carts anymore. My brother has it. So
no, I only have 7, 8 Sega games. Not many.
But yeah, I guess that was it for what we've been playing lately.
Yeah, that's all for games played. It's actually, yeah.
It was a good.
It was
it was a good amount.
I played a lot of stuff. Yeah.
So we can move on to the news that we had lately.
The news.
We could probably jump into the smaller stuff first, and then because we also had the
tiny newses,
the longer stuff.
The baby news. So right after, I'm going to jump into the first one. I'm just jumping ahead. Look at me. Right after, I swear, it wasn't like the next day after our last episode. Or it was this is old news at this point. Power Rangers Legacy Wars, which was the DLC coming, right? So it's Ryu and Chun-Li. And that's the name of the... Power Rangers Legacy Wars is the name of the comic that they were in, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But Chun-Li and Ryu both have Power Ranger forms. Chun-Li is the Blue Phoenix Ranger, and Ryu is the Crimson Hawk Ranger. Those are both coming to Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, as well as Battle for the Grid is getting like a gold edition or something like that. It's getting a new physical release with all the DLC on it.
Switch. It does look pretty good.
Is it only on Switch or is it on everything?
I saw one for Switch. It probably has it for more, actually. It's the Super Edition. Yeah. I mean, it looks really good.
I enjoy that game a lot, actually. I'm not super great at it, but it's enjoyable. It kind of has a very Marvel vs. Capcom feel.
It does.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3 specifically.
It does.
But I'm in.
It came out around the same time as Marvel Infinite, and a lot of people are saying that the Power Rangers game was more Marvel than Marvel was at the time. I remember
that. Yeah. I mean, I can get behind that. I mean, I didn't mind Infinite, but it wasn't.
I liked it. I think I liked it a lot, like way more than a lot of other people did. I mean,
I enjoyed it, but I didn't like it as much as 3.
There's definitely... I actually enjoyed it way more than 3. I really didn't like 3. What? And especially like the way it looked and everything.
I don't like 3 Ultimate, but I like regular 3. That's weird, you know?
I was super into 1 and 2.
Nerf Wolverine.
But I was super into 1 and 2. 3, I didn't like at all. Infinite, I liked. I
love 3.
Worst thing about Infinite is like the story mode. The story mode is terrible. And...
I also hate Captain America's design.
Yeah.
As much of a Captain America fan I am, he looks like a damn gorilla in that game.
Yeah, he looks kind of chunky in that game.
He looks very chunky.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely some issues with it, but I do like how they brought back a lot of the older gameplay styles, which, I mean, most people that played Marvel, their first Marvel game was Marvel 2. They don't remember anything about Marvel superheroes and X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. They don't remember any of those games. Or Children of the Atom, X-Men Children of the Atom. So when they saw the 2-on-2, they were like, "What? 2-on-2? You know what the hell is that?" It's like, well, there's been more 2-on-2 Marvel games than there has been 3-on-3, but of course nobody remembers that. But I enjoy that way more than 3-on-3 because really the third character is just an assist. So, but
I mean when it comes down to it, this DLC, by the way, I looked up the prices. Both of them are $12.50 if you buy them together, or they're $5.99 each. So you save 50 cents if you buy them together. I'm probably going to get them, or I might just get that fancy edition. I don't know. We'll see. I actually am missing a lot of the DLC for that game anyway. Mainly because I don't care about a lot of those Power Rangers.
Yeah, I would always get them. I never, when it comes to fighting games, I usually just get them all. I have a problem when it comes to fighting game DLC. Even if I'm not actively playing that, I always get all the DLC for fighting games because you have to have all the characters.
That's
fine. It's not like a story DLC or something like that. I gotta have the characters. There's no way I'm gonna have this fighting game and then have empty boxes where there should be characters or whatever. But yeah,
at least you admit you have a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's a lot of fighting games I haven't played, but I have all the DLC for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting these guys though. I mean. Just alone, the designs look awesome, especially Chun-Li's. Chun-Li looks badass anyway, but I mean, she looks even more badass in this thing. So, but yeah, that's awesome. What else are we going to buy with our hard-earned money, Dwight?
Well, there's other fighting game related news that came out. So really quick, there was not they have been releasing, or SNK has been releasing, King of Fighters 15 character trailers every week. They didn't have one this week. Because they released the character trailer for Samurai Showdown, which this is a Last Blade character, which a lot of people, SNK heads, have been waiting for. Hibiki Takane, which is a great character, so I thought that was pretty nice.
That sounds like a Ranma character, by the way.
Right. But so this is it's great.
I know why, actually, but go ahead.
So this character is actually coming out pretty soon. They're going to have like a more... this is just like a short character trailer, but character reveal trailer. They'll have like a better breakdown a little
later. Is it the characters are short? Like they're 3-foot characters? No, I'm just messing with you.
They have was it the week before, though, they did release a character trailer for somebody in King of Fighters, Shermie, which... I was super excited for that crap. I mean, I played a lot of SNK fighting games like King of Fighters and stuff like that. Shermie has not been in a King of Fighters game since 2002. She was actually the last story, I guess, the last story-based appearance she made was like in 97, and she died in that game. So they had her in, because...
So she's a zombie now?
She's technically dead, or is technically dead in the storyline. But, it's a fighting game storyline, so who cares? But
yeah, exactly, right. They're like comic book stories.
So
people that are dead aren't really dead.
In King of Fighters, if you know anything about King of Fighters, when they were releasing them yearly, there's usually 2 or 3 story ones, like a story arc. Then they would release a dream match. And she was in 2002, which was one of the later dream matches. And that was it. You never saw her again, well, in a King of Fighters game until, now. So everybody's freaking out like, holy shit, how's she back? What are they doing in the story? I don't know. I don't care about what's going on with the story, whatever. But it's an amazing character. Because you don't see female grapple characters very often. And she's straight grapple.
No.
Like,
they're usually the agile characters.
Yeah, so straight grappling character. Amazing. She has like a ton of grappling moves if you know anything about this character. So I'm excited about that. Those are definitely favorite.
I'm in.
Games.
I don't actually have most of the DLC for Samurai Showdown. Yeah. I know this is I know we're talking about King of Fighters, but I get what you're saying.
Seth.
2 steps behind. So, xCloud Beta is on iOS and PC. That's all I'm gonna say about that. It's out. Try it. I haven't tried it yet, but I got an invite for it, and I haven't
definitely test it out.
Moving right along, Resident Evil Showcase.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to brush past that one since it was not really news. It's just, hey, it's out if you have an iOS or PC. Really. You can try it now. Resident Evil Showcase. Did you look that up? Because I remember I watched it. That same lady was on there. I forget her name, that lady. She was talking about stuff.
Brombashar. What's her last name? Brittany Brombashar.
There you go. So look at you. You're all about it. They showed a new trailer for Resident Evil Village. I accidentally bought that game twice this week.
How'd that happen?
I actually sold my extra copy already, so it's fine. There was a long story short, there was a deal on a website that for the PC version, and I didn't think my order went through, and it did. So I bought it twice on accident. But like I said, good friend of the show, Alejandro, he got my extra copy, so I'm like, good. But I did try that demo. They said a new demo was coming out. It was like 2 days later in the middle of the night. Let's talk about these demos. Main thing, they're doing these time staggered demos. Of course, PlayStation's first because of course it is. Yeah. Of course. I tried the PlayStation 5 demo. It was very short. You only get 30 minutes to play it, and you only have a window of like 72 hours or 24 hours or something like that to play it. Not long.
Yeah.
Whatever. Much less, much less. And it, there's 2 different sections. Then there's like another demo where you can be in the castle. I did the village, which is the first one that was available. And then later on, I want to say it's like the 2nd, April, May 2nd, or the 3rd or something like that. I don't remember. You can look these up. The demo is going to be available on PC and Xbox. The game comes out on the 7th, though. At that point, I'm kind of like, why?
Yeah. I kind of skipped these demos. So I played the Maiden demo, but I skipped these because I figured I'll just play it when it comes out.
The Maiden demo might as well have been a video, in my opinion. Right. That was so
It was just to...
This new one was not much more. There was combat in it, I will say. I got to shoot 3 things.
3 things, all right.
All right, yeah.
I mean, it was just like to show off how good it looked, really. It wasn't even really a gameplay demo. It was just like hey, walk around and check out this damn chandelier and whatnot. Which is funny, when you in the Maiden demo, when you get to that big room with the chandelier, like the frame rate tanks in that room, which is kind of interesting. But I've heard that they're fixing all that up, so that's cool. And that 45 frames per second thing they were talking about when they released the specs for the game. So Digital Foundry did verify.
That's actually what I was going to say.
They did verify that it's just unlocked. It's not an actual target, a hard target. It wouldn't really work as a hard target anyway because it's not easily divisible.
60 is the target, but that's where it's floating around, I guess, is what they're kind of...
And most of of course, the current gen systems pretty much hit that, with ease, so it's not really a problem. The older systems, though, you might be floating around a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're playing older systems, like... Hey, more power to you. I'm gonna choke this cat. You can hear the cat in the background. He's just like, hey, something's up. But anywho, if you're playing on base PS4, base Xbox One, I'm glad you're playing the game. Temper your expectations, though. Don't bitch about something not running right. At this
I would
point.
say though,
they're not going to halt progression for you. At this point.
If you're playing that, you already know what to expect. You already know what it is.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I want you to play the game. Like I want everyone to enjoy this game. Just like with Cyberpunk, it's like, oh, it's not running great on base PS4. It's like, move on.
You got a base PS4, so
it's like, move on.
Yeah.
That's why they make new stuff,
right?
So you can, and I know everybody can't afford new stuff, whatever.
Or you could even get it.
Me not making, that too.
Yeah.
That's true too. But there are, you just got to make do, man.
Yeah,
just got to make do and set your expectations accordingly. Look up these demos if you're interested, though. I'm excited for the game. Obviously, I've already pre-ordered it. I'm in. They've sold me on these trailers alone. I think the premise looks really good. So.
I'll try it out.
The other thing in this showcase that stood out to me is that Resident Evil 4 VR for Oculus Quest 2.
Seems interesting.
That is very interesting. And it looks like it's taking a lot of the same assets and you can dual wield. Like you have to manually load the guns. And it's very, very...
This is not just like they just took Resident Evil 4 and then just slapped on some controls. They've actually added a lot of things to this.
Exactly.
So it's pretty interesting.
I am curious to see how that goes, though, myself, because if it works out, I might be in. That looks cool. So.
And of course, it's RE4, so it should be easy to run that at like crazy frame rates or whatever. So it's also another good thing.
Of course, yeah, it shouldn't be an issue. What do we got?
Talk about the reverse beta. I guess there's going to be another one. God, I saw videos of that. That thing looks terrible.
Just think of Dexter's Laboratory.
Terrible. Oh my god. They talked about Mercenaries a little bit too, which it looks like it's going to be single player, which is interesting.
You should have. Yeah, that's right. They just show a Mercenaries thing.
I don't know.
You know what you should have done? You should have ended on reverse.
No, reverse.
You know why? Because that would have went perfectly with the next news topic. But hey, missed opportunities. So we talked last week. Was it last episode? I don't remember. I think it had to have been last episode. Because everyone was flipping their shit. And I feel bad for all the... and we even talked about it. All the content creators that were out there were like, hey, we should make a list of everything you should get on the PlayStation Store.
Yeah. Yeah, because we said we were going to have a list ready for this week. That's right. Yeah, we did. I remember that.
Yep. And I know a lot of people, and we're just doing a podcast. Yeah. I mean, there are people out there that made videos. In fact, I watched a YouTube channel called Triple Jump. And I think they wrote, well, actually I will read the name of their, episode. But it's something like, is it Triple Jump? I don't know. But they're saying, hey, it's every PlayStation game you need to buy because the stores aren't closing.
Yeah.
So, 10 PS3, PSP, and Vita games you need to buy now because the stores are sticking around.
But that's good. That's good, though.
But yeah, that's the news. I mean, hey, I guess enough outrage.
Outrages or whichever. Yeah.
Outcry. Enough opposition was heard. That they said, you know what, maybe we shouldn't close the Vita and the PS3 store just yet.
They did do the PSP store, though.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to buy those.
They kind of already did that a while ago, but you can still get the stuff on PS3 and just transfer it over.
Yeah. So, because before they closed it down on the PSP itself, but you can still get it in other ways. Yeah. But now they've shut it off on the PSP. Shut it off on the website, and they're probably going to shut it off through the PS3.
You can get it on the PS3. I mean, I'm figuring if you have a PSP, you probably have a PS3. You're the type of person that has a PSP. Yeah.
I'm not as worried about the PSP just because, I mean, there's other ways that I've been using to get those, so I'm good on that front.
Extra legal means to play PSP games. So, Vita, on the other hand, is a little harder. And PS3 is.
I never got around to do that for Vita, so that's all. I was kind of sweating a little bit, but especially since everybody bought up all those damn those proprietary cards, memory cards.
I actually imagine that. I mean, I bought one.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say. I went and bought a 64. But in my defense, I was gonna get a 64 anyway. It was just like, well, I might as well go and do it before they skyrocket.
Right.
So, and I did. I got one on GameStop's website before they were immediately sold out. Like 20 minutes later, when my wife tried to buy one. So
I've been waiting. Ever since I got because I have the PS TV, the little Vita that you can hook up to it, and ever since I got it, I was like, you know what? I'll get around to getting this memory card once the price drops. It never did. That was years ago. So
it never will.
I'll get around to it.
There's a way where you can mod it to where you can use a micro SD card and an adapter, but I have not really looked into that.
But you have to have it. It has to be like hacked or whatever, and it works a little differently. So I don't really trust it 100%. But I'll probably try that at some point.
Speaking of hacks, I got my Sega Saturn up and going, and I think I'm going to get one of those memory expansion cards.
Oh, gotcha! Like the 4 MB RAM card. Yep.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to do the little backup flash thing on there. Get some Panzer Dragoon Saga started on the. I'm just mainly, honestly, really what I want it for. Like, there's a few other games I want to play, like Magic Knight Ray Earth or something, but really, it's that one. I mean, that's the Saturn game, right? That everyone.
I wanted to get a Saturn so bad. I'll probably just wait for that Mega. Was it the Poly Mega? Yeah.
I actually got my Sega Saturn at a Goodwill
Really?
a long time ago. Yeah, and I have one game with it. I have Daytona USA, of course. Number one game you
Is
have
it
to
like
have,
the launch version,
and I have a
or is it
racing.
like the
I have a racing.
the racing one with it? Oh man,
Yeah,
that would have been a really good get.
yeah. It's regular ass Daytona USA. It's not the Champion Edition or whatever. So, but yeah, so good news there. You don't have to immediately rush out and buy PS3 and Vita
Yay.
games. I will say though, you probably do want to try and get them.
Right.
sooner.
This is not a forever.
They're going to close
thing.
them
This
eventually.
This
is a delay.
It's probably like a 1-year delay or something. Is what I'm guessing.
This is a delay. So, but you don't have to buy them all within
Right.
2 months. Now you can space them out a bit because I bought most of the ones PS1 games that I actually wanted. I went ahead and went and got them, and a couple PS2 games. But yeah, good news on that front. What have we got? We're going to talk about this indie thing, or you want to do Judgment next? That's the only two things.
Well,
right?
we can hit Judgment and then end up on the Nintendo Indie World Showcase.
So Judgment is actually new news. The indie thing is pretty old, but that's fine. Judgment came out today for Series X, which I'm kind of curious. I have Judgment right near me. You know, most of these games at the top, they say Xbox One, Series X. I'm pretty sure this was Xbox One and Series X. Right?
That's what I heard. I don't know for sure.
At the top, it just says Series X.
That's interesting.
So I'm curious about that. I'll have to investigate it later. But Sega has revealed Judgment Day countdown clock. Yeah, exactly. So fans are expecting a sequel to 2018's Yakuza spinoff Judgment. The countdown is on Ryo Gotoku's website, and it will stop on May 7th.
That's interesting.
At 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. And it has a trailer attached. So I guess that the new trailer will drop in. Everyone assumes it's a sequel. I wouldn't be surprised. They kind of left it open for a sequel. I love this character. I don't remember his name. I want to call him Light Yagami. I know that's not his name because that's the main character from Death Note.
Wow. But yeah,
he's Yagami something.
I'll probably
though.
get around to this.
Yagami is in that title.
I'll get around to playing this at some point. This and
you need to play it
like a dragon.
Play Judgment first. I say if you're ever interested in a Yakuza game, Judgment is the number one to go. Go that one immediately. It's the number one to go with. I'll finish Like a Dragon eventually myself, but I keep getting stuck. So yeah. With that being said, and this is kind of old news, but Nintendo Indie World Showcase that was on 4/14. I'm just gonna go through the thing because I actually didn't watch it. I kind of.
I have a list of the games that were featured, but I watched this. I watched this live when it came out.
See, I missed it. I know there's this one game. I did watch this trailer. It seems like you have like a million different scenarios that you can pick from, and it's like you meet this person, but it's like a different person. It's called Road 96.
That was kind of interesting.
It seems like you play through the same short. You probably play through the same short scenario over and over and over, and it being like slightly very different every time. You ever play the Stanley Parable?
Heard of it, never played it.
Okay, same concept, I think. If you play the same thing, and you could take the same path, but if you take a different path, like a wildly different thing happens, and there's like friggin' a million different endings to the same thing. So this looks kind of like that, though. Let's see. I'm skipping on through. And they're talking about this a lot. This is actually... Oh, God. This guy's mouth. What happened? Neil Jones. Aerial Knight. This guy has a very, very scary smile. He looks like a nice guy, though. And there's a runner. What is this game called? I actually didn't see this one at all. Do you know what this is?
I remember that. I did see that. I mean, it sounds interesting. The music sounds really good.
Aerial Knights Never
Yeah.
Yield.
So the game itself, I would have to say, while I was watching that, I was like, I mean, this looks cool, but it's like a runner, and there's nothing. Usually, one of those runners, those endless runners, has like some sort of gameplay hook or something different that a lot of others aren't really doing to differentiate itself.
Like Bit Trip.
This game does not have that.
Yeah, Bit Trip Runner.
I'm watching it, and there's.
I
really
guess
no,
they're running.
Yeah.
They're running with the fact that it's has hip hop music in it. Is that the hook?
I mean, I guess, but I hope not, because that would make it boring as shit if that's really the only thing, because I can always play whatever I want.
I mean, that seems to be...
I hope it isn't.
Let's
There's a lot of jazz and stuff.
Annapurna Interactive.
Music sounds great, but that's not enough. Like, it has to...
Yeah, you can't...
So...
Annapurna Interactive, Last Stop, and what's the next game? It's like a pair of... three Entangled Stories. What is this? Hindsight and Last Stop. Okay. Sure. July 2021, those two Annapurna Interactive games are coming. Ollie Ollie World, I don't really care about. I know a lot of people care about these games.
I have Ollie Ollie 2 on Xbox. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, it looks great, but...
I feel like they gave this away on PlayStation Plus.
It's hard to play.
I did play some Tony Hawk 3 this week.
So that Ollie Ollie World looks so different from the other two. Looks really different. So I'm sure a lot of people will love that game.
Yeah, I know it has its fans. The next game, The Longing, by Studio Sufez. This is the one that is 400 actual days. It will take you over a year to beat this game.
I saw that. There's like a lot of waiting and walking around and waiting. And
it looks kind of like a almost like not a Stardew Valley. Definitely not. But it seems like there's like menial tasks that you can do to occupy your time. I can't imagine I would be that
I'm good on that.
400 plus days,
I'm good. It's a 9 out of 10 on Steam.
Also,
though,
I wonder...
So. It's a 9 out of 10 on Steam currently.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah, I can't say that's going to keep me that engaged. I gotta wonder, what if you just don't do anything? Is there a fail state to that game? Is there like, try again?
No clue.
The next game, there is no game, Wrong Dimension. I don't know what the hell is going on here. It seems like a bunch of mini games.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
All right, cool. A lot of these things aren't for us. They showed Ninja Turtles, which is for me. Which, shocker, it's on Switch, because they didn't actually say what it was for. I'm sure this is for everything, though. I would be absolutely baffled if it was on nothing else but Switch. We talked about this.
Shredder's Revenge.
Shredder's Revenge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on PS4, Xbox One, and Windows.
Okay.
It's funny it doesn't say Switch.
Available later this year? Or what's funny?
It's, Actually, it hasn't been announced for those other ones.
No, I thought it was just Switch and PC.
It's just Switch.
It was actually all of it. I'm pretty sure it's got to be.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people hoping there's going to be on other stuff, but it hasn't actually been announced for those. So, real-time correction. Sorry about that.
If it does not get a physical copy, this seems like a prime candidate for like a limited run sort of thing. So, I will definitely get a copy. Chris Tales, which I feel like there's been a demo of this
been out forever
on the eShop forever, but it's actually available on July 20th. Play that demo. I got to sneeze. Yeah.
There you go.
Me. Yeah. That was 2 sneezes, if you don't know, guys. I have very cat-like sneezes. So, I feel another one coming on. But Getsu Fumiden, Undying Moon from Konami.
This actually
of all people.
looks... If this is what I think it is, it looks
awesome.
pretty good.
It looks cool. It looks like a ukiyo painting, but like a 2D action game, which I'm down with. Is this like a remake of an older game or like a sequel or something? I feel like this is a thing.
But it does look pretty interesting. Yeah.
I also feel like this is on other things, but even if it's not, it's not available until next year though.
Yeah, it's kind of early to be announcing stuff, but that's fine.
Let's see. What is this next one? I can't tell. Aztec Forgotten Gods.
Right. So Aztec God of War.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see. This is interesting looking. I don't know if I'll go with that or not, but it's cool looking. Skull looks like the dude from yeah, I don't know what half this stuff is. I should have looked at this earlier. Skull the Hero Slayer. Okay. Little 2D action beat 'em up. Is that the end of the showcase? Fez. That's right. Fez came out.
Forgotten Gods does look pretty interesting though. But yeah, Fez and I think Spelunky 1 and 2, which I mean,
Spelunky 1 and 2, really?
Fez
is out already. I know that much.
I would have assumed they were out already because it's just like they're on everything. So.
Well, I know Fez is out already. Oh, and House of the Dead. I forgot about that one
the
too.
most important game out of that whole showcase. I was super excited to see that. Because I've never actually played the original House of the Dead. I played the second and third one, but not the first one.
What is the first one even on?
Saturn.
I mean, obviously
Arcade
outside
and
of Arcade.
Saturn. That's it.
Oh.
It's never been released on anything else. And the Saturn port is not very good. So.
Okay, I was about to say, do I need to produce a Saturn?
Yeah, I wouldn't even worry about it. This remake does look really good, though. And, I mean, House of the Dead 3, if you remember, I think there was a double pack, House of the Dead 3 and Silent Scope. And there was a light gun you could get for the original Xbox. I think it was the only official light gun for the original Xbox. It was a sniper rifle. And if you took off... the barrel and the scope and everything, it would look like a shotgun. And the shotgun was for House of Dead 3 because House of Dead 3 you had shotguns. So I had that gun. I had the whole setup. I had those games. I played the shit out of them. They were amazing.
I have House of the Dead 2 and 3. The pack that came out for the Wii. I have that. And I have House of the Dead Overkill. Is it Overkill? That's the Grindhouse.
Yeah. I never actually.
I have that one for. I have it for the PS3.
Okay.
It's like an extended cut. It's pretty much the same thing, but it looks better. I think those work with the Move controllers because I don't have a PS3 gun. Yeah. Because I actually really wanted to get Time Crisis, but I think you need a gun con. The gun con for that. Don't think you can use Move controllers.
I almost had that.
I also have those Resident Evil Dark Side and Umbrella. I have those on PS3 as well.
They came out later.
I've never actually
played.
They
came out later because the Time Crisis and the Gun Con 3 came out close to launch for PS3. But then later on, they just never really did anything else with the Gun Con. It's really hard to find one now. But yeah, a lot of those like games.
I think later. Time Crisis 4? Is it?
Yeah, Time Crisis 4. 3 was on PS2.
I think there's another one that's exclusive to the PSN. That you can use the Move controllers on. I don't remember exactly though. Again, I was watching some of those videos that people. I think this might have the second time in a row. I think this is I think this was on Metal Jesus' channel. He was pointing out some of the PSN
Storm
games. So.
Is what it is.
Okay, well, there you go.
That's the one that uses the PlayStation Move. I had all of these. I don't think that I never got the GunCon 3, but I have GunCon 1 and 2 and like pretty much all the games that supported it on PlayStation and PS2. And I had those Resident Evil Gun Survivor games. There's a couple of those. I had the one for... because the two that are on PS2, there was Dead Aim, and then there was also Dino Stalker, which is like the Dino Crisis version of that.
Wasn't there a game called Ninja Assault? I think it was called something like that. It was a ninja game.
There is a game called Ninja Assault. I don't think that it was that.
I thought it used a gun peripheral.
I don't know where I think all my gun cons are in a Ninja Assault. Yes, I did have Ninja Assault also actually. See, I almost
look
forgot
at me.
about this.
Pulling it out of
I almost
nowhere.
forgot about this. Which is it's amazing because they all have like guns right on the cover. So I have this all in a box somewhere, like in storage somewhere.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I had the.
If you ever want to get rid of it, just send it my way.
I still need to get the gun content.
I actually don't own a gun. Well, I mean, I own a gun, but I don't own a. I don't own a video game gun.
Any light gun? That's.
No, I don't have a single. Okay, I take that back. I have an NES Zapper. Right.
I definitely want to get the Justifier for the Saturn, so I can use it for Snatcher and Police Knots.
I do have move control.
Okay.
So, I mean,
you're on the way.
So, but I mean, because I did play a couple move-based games, so I do have move controllers. I have the navigation control. I have the camera, so I could do those. I really want one of the guns as well. I just never got around to it. I need to get my buddy over to my co-op guy. Usually, I play co-op games with one dude. I want to go through those Resident Evil, Umbrella Corps, and Dark Side on PS3.
There's also
at some point.
What was that EA horror game? And I always forget the name of it. Dead Space. There was a Dead Space move shooter on PS3 also.
Wasn't that just a remake of the? Not really a remake. But it was on Wii as well, right?
Yeah.
Extraction. I have the one for the Wii.
I actually played that a little bit. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. I've not played the whole through the whole thing. Like I said, I have it on Wii. I have a lot of games for Wii. Honestly, this week, because, I said I popped in a lot of stuff, a lot of those were Wii games. Just because I felt like, I don't really touch the Wii so much anymore. And I have a lot of games that I've just kind of picked up for, practically next to nothing over the past 10 years, probably. And let's just see how they are. And, I didn't play a lot of all of them. Some of them you could tell which ones were early because they had the motion controls kind of shoehorned in. But some of them were really good. I could recommend Batman the Brave and the Bold, which is based off that cartoon.
Yeah, I remember that cartoon, yeah.
That's a pretty fun little side-scroller beat-em-up. I was actually all right with that.
Until you said something just now, I've never even heard of this or even thought about this as a game at all. So that's pretty interesting.
What, yeah. Batman the Brave and the Bold?
I didn't even know they made a game based off of that show.
Yeah, I just picked it up on a whim. A lot of times, games that end up in my collection are just like, oh yeah. And then it's like a buy 5, get 5 free, or, they do stuff like that. And you're just like, I'm just going to bullshit these and, try them out. But yeah, I feel like I bought something else
It's a 2D
recently.
game. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a 2D beat 'em up, and it's actually not bad. So, it's not fantastic. I'm not trying to oversell it.
It's the greatest Batman game ever.
You're like, this is yeah, exactly. This is the best Batman.
No.
Exactly.
But yeah.
But it's solid. It's much better than I thought. Treasure Planet is another it's a PS2 game. It's a damn Jack and Daxter clone if I ever played one, and it's actually pretty good. So, yeah, it's just Spider-Man 3 started that on the Wii. I had actually beaten that on the Wii. That one's incredibly heavy on the motion controls, but they work.
Well, that's
I
good.
can't believe it. It's like they actually function. You have to you have to run, jump, hold the B button, and flick the Wii remote out to shoot a web. And then that's with your right hand. With the left hand, you have to hold the Z button and flick the nunchuck to shoot a web with your other hand. God. It works though. As awful as that sounds, it works.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So, as you can tell by the ramblings, ladies and gentlemen, so that's pretty much the end of what we had.
Yep.
There's a few games coming out. Out today, by the way, is Nier and Judgment. Those are the two big things. Did you? Backtracking a little bit. Did you try MLB The Show?
Actually, no, I haven't. I haven't tried to download it.
I did briefly. I downloaded on Series X, and I played 10 minutes. I'm like, I don't like baseball games. Also, not that I'm super averse to modern hip hop music. Why does every sports game have the same? I feel like it has the same damn soundtrack.
I mean,
Like,
it's catering
stop.
to the audience.
I know. You know what? You just answered the question.
I mean, yeah, it's
It is catering to the audience, but I'm just like, can I just not have ambient baseball sounds?
baseball sounds.
Like, why do I? Like, why can't I just hear the crowd? Why can it not just be baseball? Why does it got to be hip hop baseball?
Well,
So
they
like,
watch baseball.
I don't know, man. I'm just
the
like,
hot dog sizzling and popcorn popping instead of.
I just want it to sound like the outside during a baseball game. Why can't I hear like the music that they would play at a baseball stadium? You know?
What, take me out to the
I
ball
don't know,
game?
man.
Or, yeah.
I mean, no, they play the little organ crap,
Yeah,
and you hear
take me out
crowds
to the ball
and stuff. None of that was in there.
Yeah.
None of that was in there. There was just like this overtone of like it was like you were the cameraman and you had headphones in, and none of the ambience from an actual baseball game. Next week, as I said, Judgment and Nier are out today. Next week, you have Pokemon Snap and Returnal will be out that day too. I have Pokemon Snap I'm going to pick up. Returnal I have on GameFly, so I'm pretty excited for that one. A lot of preview events have been saying good stuff about that.
It's the first real next-gen game, apparently. They said that about the Medium for Xbox, and they were lying. So this one looks like it might actually be it.
I still say Astrobot is the best next-gen game right now, but I mean, even that being said, it's... also on that day is R-Type Final 2. We'll get a physical copy, if you're into that sort of thing. On the 7th, this is digital only, but at least that I'm aware of. You have that Hood Outlaws and Legends, which we've talked about on the show before, the like multiplayer thief-looking game where you're stabbing each other. Neighborhood Outlaw.
Yep.
Bless you. See, I caught that too. And also on the 7th, the game that everyone actually cares about is going to be Resident Evil Village, or Resident Evil 8, depending on who you ask.
8.
Which I will be playing
8
for
Age
sure.
Is the official name for that. 8 Age.
8 Age?
Yes.
Okay. Is that like Drift 3R?
Yes. But yeah.
or GTA IV?
So yes.
We laugh, but I've actually had customers ask me for Drift 3R and GTA IV.
Yeah.
That and when you mentioned Warzone earlier, and I asked about Call of Duty Warzone, I've had customers refer to it as that duty.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all got that duty. What you know about that duty?
Yep, that's what it is.
Are we calling it that duty? So, all right, guys. With that, that's our show. Until 2 weeks from now, what you gonna take us out with? Where can people find us?
So you can find us on our YouTube channel at VG Escape, our Instagram and Twitter under Gameroom Pod. You can also search any major podcasting providers for Welcome to the Game Room to listen to us wherever you want.
All right. I appreciate the fluidity of that.
Of course, absolutely.
You had it all memorized, and you clearly weren't looking at anything this time.
Not
so
at
good
all.
job. All right, guys. Well, until 2 weeks from now,
Yep.
I'm out of here. I've been Michael McLeod,
Yep.
Dwight Robinson.
All right,
Goodbye. Bye, Dan.